Hi, welcome to the Diane Ingram Show. Today, we're going to be speaking with Jackie Muller in a few minutes. She is a licensed clinical social worker, and Jackie has committed to working on writing a book. We've seen in a couple earlier shows that when she committed to writing a book, she decided it might be beneficial for her to walk each day to kind of clear her head. And what's happened to Jackie is wonderful. She's lost 20 pounds from walking every day. She started out not walking very far because she wasn't in very good shape, as she admitted. And as time went on, she walked more and more. And now she's up to 3 or 4, sometimes 5 miles a day to clear her head. But also she's feeling so much better from all the exercise. That all came out of her focusing on her dream to write a book. Who would have thought the connection would be made? It's really important to make note of that because all the areas of our lives are connected. And when we follow our heart's longing, in this case for Jackie to write a book, it affects all the other areas of our lives. She took the inspiration from writing a book and found out what tools she needed, one being a clear head, which opened up this whole other area of her life. She's eating better, she's feeling better, she's able to think clearer. It's a beautiful thing. She's able to fit in her clothes better, she's feeling confident about herself, which inspires, it's like a circle, it inspires her dream to write a book. What is it that you're aiming towards? What is it the thing that you've always thought, someday I'll do that? Because I want to remind you that someday is now. And if we put off those things till another time, before you know it, things happen. Accidents, disease, life. We need to remember that we have a finite time on this earth. And so it's really a much better, more pleasing way to live, to be going after what's important for you. So start thinking about that and stay tuned. Let's see what Jackie's up to this time. Hi, welcome back. Today I'm with Jacqueline Muller, licensed clinical social worker. Welcome back, Jackie.
Thank you for having me, Diane.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Yeah, it has been good.
So this is your third time on the show.
Yes.
And we've talked about your writing, and last time it was very exciting. You talked about how between the first and second show you started walking each day, first to clear your head, but actually what happened was, well, I should let you tell the story.
Well, what happened was I started walking so that I could clear my head and get my thoughts organized, and I ended up finding that the added benefit to clearing my thoughts was that I was starting to be more health conscious, and as a result of that I lost some weight from the walking. I started to look at my diet and change my diet, and that has been a part of the process. And I've also learned that all my life areas are kind of interrelated.
Absolutely, and it's just so beautiful, such a beautiful example of how it all snowballs. Mm-hmm. You change one area of life. Sometimes clients come to me and they go, oh my gosh, I have all these things to do, but if you change one area of life, it affects all the others.
It definitely does.
So wonderful, it's just so exciting. So how has the walking been going for you?
The walking I'm still doing, I do that every morning. It's become like a walking meditation. It helps me to clear my mind in all the different areas of my life and to organize my thoughts so that I can get the most bang out of my day, you know.
And now with the weather, it's just so wonderful to get out there, right?
It's been wonderful all winter.
Yes,
so I've been
true.
very fortunate that the weather was really nice too.
Yeah.
So interestingly, I have come here today from attending a business coaching, to be specific with my profession, and found that I can use some of that with what we're talking about today in terms of the goals that I set with you for my writing.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, I know when I was here last time I committed to writing a page a day. I was not successful at that because I have started to increase my activity more that takes up time out of my schedule. So I haven't written as many pages as I would have liked to. I have written, but I haven't written the page a day that I committed to. So.
Okay. So.
But I think how the business coach thing works is that I noticed with them, they've given me target dates to complete certain tasks by. And I was thinking, since you are my life coach in this area, that I would set some target dates and just to check in and see where I'm going with that. Because I find, for me personally, I'm the type of person who benefits more by having dates in between, like deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be better than just having, you know, the bigger gap.
Right. That's a great thing to know about yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we all work in different ways best. And
Right.
so it's great to know that deadlines really inspire you to get motivated and doing what you want to be doing.
Right.
So I'm wondering, is there anything else that got in the way of you doing the writing a day? Or do you think that was just too structured for you? It just didn't fit into your life?
I think it didn't fit into my
Mm-hmm.
life because I was also thinking of a different way to get my writing done would probably be to set it on a day where I know I have more time. Every day during the week I'm in my private practice, so those days can be can change week to week.
Mm-hmm.
So I know one day that doesn't really change very much is Sunday. So I was thinking with my morning coffee and my routine, I can sit down and I can dedicate a chunk of time in the morning on Sunday to do whatever I can do. It may not be a page a day, it could be 10 pages, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would be more reasonable for my lifestyle.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard for people to transition from something like a big creative project to their day-to-day work.
Mm-hmm.
And so by doing, trying to do that each weekday, sometimes that's really difficult. So what you've discovered is that maybe on Sunday when you're not working and you can kind of clear your head in a big way and make space for that might work best for you. So have you tried that yet, or is that something you'd like to aim for?
Thinking I'm going to start from here, from today on.
Okay, great. So you would like to try to aim, to do
some writing on Sunday mornings.
Writing on Sunday mornings, okay.
At least 2 hours of like sitting and either thinking my thoughts through or actually writing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be also more successful because one day a week I give myself off from the exercise routines that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be my day off.
Okay, good.
My day of rest, so to speak, to put my mind to work a little bit more in a different direction.
Very nice, very nice. Okay.
So, and I'd also like to commit, because I know different people do the life coaching in different ways, and I think even just to commit to you to maybe send you an email and say how that morning went. So this way I know that I've checked in and I've held myself accountable. Even if you're busy and you don't answer on the Sunday, that would be fine.
That would be absolutely fine. So you'd like to send me an email each Sunday or each week regarding how the Sunday went?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Just to check in and let me know. Yeah,
Right.
Because having someone to kind of be accountable to is really important, especially sometimes for a shorter duration than when we're actually coming here and sitting here. Okay.
I know when we originally started, we talked more frequently, and then now it's stretched out a little bit to give me some time to do things, but I think I'm the type of person who knows if I have a deadline that I work better. Maybe the night before, but I do work better that way.
So is that enough of a deadline? Because you talked about when you spoke with his business coach how you had specific deadlines. So is that enough of a deadline for you to do a check-in with me once a week, or are you aiming to accomplish a certain amount of the writing by a certain date? Is there?
Yeah, I think I'll start off with the once a week to just at least get some of it more structured and organized. Because otherwise I find when there's too much time, I'm bantering around too many ideas and I'm not getting anything really down on paper.
Interesting. So it's good to have a beginning and end for you.
Right. Even if that first written piece or written outline changes, getting it down has been, doing my walks and getting my thoughts organized is one thing, putting it on paper is another thing,
Yeah, so what does that help you do?
It helps me to commit to actually putting it down on paper and structuring the thoughts a little bit better, I think.
Okay, and I'm wondering, focus, I'm hearing the word focus. Is it helping you focus in and structure the thoughts? Interesting. Yeah, because oftentimes we think, oh, if I had so much time, I would write the great American novel. And the truth is, sometimes that much time freaks us out because there's no structure to it.
Well, I feel like I have too many book titles going on in my head. Like I'm trying to put the title on the book before I've actually put the work onto paper.
Right, right. So I'm wondering if it slows your mind down a little bit to focus in on what is the project at hand instead of going all over the place and coming up with pulling in all these new creative ideas, which are great, but overwhelming when you're trying to write one book.
Right, to try to get it all organized into one title. By having the title first, I thought that was the goal, was to come up with the title and then do the outline. So I thought I was going to do the title on one day and then start the outline the next day, and I'd have this whole stack ready for you by the time we meet today, which I think it's been about 3 weeks. Maybe a month?
Met in January, actually. I think the middle of January. So it's So it's been almost 2 months.
So I've been thinking about stuff and not really doing a lot. I have written some of my ideas out that will go into chapters, but structuring it so that I can pull those ideas together has still been a challenge for me.
So how might you approach that?
Well, I think what it will do is I can at least check in with you on a Sunday and say, okay, I spent these 2 hours, I've come up with these ideas, and I'm going to work on this chapter. You know, I can hold myself accountable by telling somebody else I'm doing it. I'm going to commit to you on a weekly basis that this is what I've done, and this is what I'm going to try to do by the next week.
Great. Yeah, and the other piece is that part of this process is not just like sitting down and writing, you know, obviously, it's about pulling together your thoughts, kind of deciding. You know, it's like creating the marble statue of David. He said he took away the parts that weren't David. Right. You know, so it's kind of like taking away the parts that you don't want to be in the book and focusing on what you do. And so that's a big piece of it. Right. It's just, and how does it work best, and figuring all that out. So building in time to allow yourself to do that is all part of the process.
Right, and I think I was spending an awful lot of time going, okay, this is a good book title, and putting it into Google to make sure nobody else had that title yet, and then finding a book by that title and going, oh, that doesn't work.
But it does, because when I did my book, it was, I just was stuck on it. Listen to Your Heart, A Guide to Living Life on Purpose. But Listen to Your Heart is a song. There's several books like that, but you know what? I used it anyhow, and there's no copyright on titles of songs, or I don't believe on books either.
Okay. That's interesting to know.
Yeah, so.
Well, I was trying to come up with something original, and it's interesting how my thought process has come back to possibly naming the book after what my practice is. Dynamic intervention is your pathway to wellness. And then inside it, I think the chapters will be all different pathways to wellness, or how I've made my life experiences become my life work.
Interesting. Very nice. That's very, very nice.
We'll see where it goes. So see, it's up there, and I can speak it. It's just now trying to put it down in paper, and I hope that this book would become something that sort of like a workbook or a tool for people to be able to see and explore different avenues to reach the goal that we all would like to have, like wellness in our life, whatever that definition is for each person. It could be fitness, like me losing the weight has been a pathway to my wellness, you know. It could be mental wellness, it could be spiritual wellness. So that's going to be the next task. So that's what I'd like to commit to doing with you between now and when we meet again.
Okay. And I'd just like to hear a little bit more about how the walking each day is helping you mentally. It's real clear. You look terrific, by the way.
Good.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of weight and you look like you're just glowing. So wonderful. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But I'm wondering if you could just share a little bit about how it's affected you in other ways.
Well, I think being out in nature and giving myself that quiet time, because I am around people all day, and then when I go home from work, I am running the household and having to organize different people's schedules, my children, you know. It creates a lot of mental clutter, and I think the walking allows me to have some time to just be for me, you know, and the end result is I'm starting to feel healthier, stronger. All the aches and pains are kind of disappearing.
Wow.
I feel good then. I don't feel like I'm kind of getting old too quick. You know, I feel like I'm becoming young in some ways by exercising.
You definitely look younger.
And then I think that affects your mood on multiple levels. If you feel better and you're not aching and having pains in different knees and stuff, you're going to feel more vibrant, and then your mind is going to feel more hopeful, and it just creates a different reality for you.
And how does it impact you specifically on your book project, do you think?
Well, I think because I feel better and I feel like I see myself successful at losing the weight and getting physically healthier, it makes me feel like I can do anything. So I think, whereas before I was a little bit possibly in my mind going, will I really find a book title? Oh, somebody else has already done it. Now, especially with what you just said.
I would double check that, but I think that's true. I know that's true with songs. There are many songs that have the same title, and I believe it's true with books too. You can't copyright titles.
Right.
You copyright the content, the whole project. But yeah, and so, and the other thing is, I keep hearing that I just want to share is that oftentimes these things like titles, they come to us in dreams. You know, it's good that you've kind of asked the question, but beware that sometime when you're walking, it may just go, there it is. That's what a lot of authors have said.
Well, I think when I'm walking, different chapter titles have popped up, and I have my iPhone with me, so I put them into notes, so I'm keeping track of them while I'm walking. When the ideas pop into my head, I use the notes in my iPhone, and I just keep a record so that I could later on then flesh that out a little more. So
wonderful.
That's how it's helped me also.
Yeah, what many people say, especially creative people, is that when they shift, you know, you can work on it specifically with your writing, but when you shift gears and go and wash dishes or go for a walk or do something like that, that's when the unconscious is allowed to emerge. Kind of the conscious mind drops down, your mind relaxes, and so these ideas start coming forth that you are solutions to creative problems that you're dealing with or creative issues in your project. It's just remarkable. So it sounds like the walking is really serving you in that way.
It is.
As well as many ways.
It's interesting because when you start to focus on something that you're doing for yourself, you start to see common themes around you in the different people that you might know or encounter during the day. And that's been an interesting process too, is seeing how it repeats itself in different areas of my life. Like I'm trying to work on this goal of career goal or a fitness goal, and then all of a sudden 5 other people I know say, oh, I just started doing this too.
Oh, so synchronicity is coming in.
It's interesting.
Oh, what a beautiful thing. I love synchronicity.
Then you develop a community of support because those are people that are all walking now. So you can meet with them once in a while.
Wonderful. So important to have a community of support no matter what you're doing.
Because it's one thing to be alone with your thoughts while you're walking, and it's another thing to have a support community, and then you can banter those ideas around with those people, and that kind of enhances it too.
And we need both. We need both alone time, and we need time with people that's positive, supportive. You're sharing ideas. What a great thing. Well, thank you, Jackie, for coming on the show today. It's so exciting to see you and see how you're moving forward. Yes, I look forward to receiving those emails every Sunday or whenever you know, so you want to send them out right after you do your work?
I finish, I'm going to send you an email.
Okay. And writing on Sundays for 2 hours or so, no more?
Yep.
Oh, yep. So are you willing to come back on the show
Yes,
and
I
share?
will.
Okay,
I'll
great.
come back and share my
so
progress.
hopefully we'll get back here sooner, but if we don't, we'll definitely have those emails going to hopefully that'll be supportive for you.
All right, great.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for having me,
Jackie.
Diane.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
You too.
Stay tuned for the next segment.
So today I'm going to read a poem to you. And what I'd like you to do is sit quietly as you're listening to the poem. Breathe into your belly, just kind of follow your breath in and out, and allow the words to carry you deeper within yourself. This poem is by Derek Walcott, and it's called Love After Love. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you. All your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life.
Welcome back. So today we spoke with Jackie, and Jackie is looking terrific. She's continued walking, and you can see it. She's glowing. She's also working on her book. And one of the things she discovered that originally she thought by taking some time during her work week that would be a good time for her to work on her book. And what she realizes is she really needs more time away from her work life where she can allow herself to let the creative energies kind of stew and come forth. So now she's committing to spending a couple hours on a Sunday morning, which is a quiet time for her, and organizing and working on her book. The other thing she committed to doing was emailing me once a week. That's really critical. Oftentimes we have these goals and these dreams, but if we don't have anyone to hold us accountable for what we're committed to, then they kind of fall away. Because with our own selves, whether we like it or not, we might say, I'm going to start walking every day, or I'm going to start that book I've always wanted, and I'm going to spend an hour every day doing it, or whatever our commitment is to ourselves. Well, one of the things that's kind of human nature is we start talking ourselves out of it. Today's not a good day. I don't really feel that good today. Actually, I've got a friend I want to go to lunch with, and before you know it, you're coming up with all kinds of reasons why there just isn't time to start that dream. And oftentimes it's because the dream is a bigger confront for us. It's a harder thing. We're not sure if we can do it. We're not, there's questions of are we good enough? And all kinds of things come up. And sometimes when we want something really badly, we get really scared to approach it. So it's easier to go out to lunch with our friend, to clean our house so that it sparkles, to do whatever we need to do to avoid confronting that. But I'm here to tell you, when you take on what's really important to you, it feels incredible. I'm a songwriter. I write lyrics fairly easily, but it's sitting down at the piano and coming up with the music to go with it that has me a little spooked. I'm not a great musician. I don't know how to play an instrument very well other than my voice. So it's intimidating for me. But boy, just yesterday I sat down on the piano and I came up with this melody line that's so beautiful. I just love it. It might be a little derivative, it might be from somewhere else, but I don't even care at this point. The point is, I finally sat down at the piano, I finally found something that I really love. So for right now, I'm going to enjoy that. So when we take on the bigger things, the satisfaction and pleasure just is enormous, because those are things we've wanted to do for a long time and that's called out to our heart. So email me. What is it that you want to be doing? What's calling to your heart? And what do you need to do to take that first step and work towards it? Who knows? Maybe it's going to cause you to go out and exercise and lose weight at the same time. Thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you tune in again and see how Jackie and my other guests are doing. Remember, we're here for a reason. Pursue that purpose and live a fulfilled life. Thank you.